I don't have an icebreaker. I just have something I want to bring to the attention of you ladies and the audience to be like, what is your personal opinion of this?
Oh, okay.
Because I'm invested. I have went down a rabbit hole, have the kids say, and I'm not a rabbit hole kind of guy. I'm a surface level.
Unless it's true crime.
Peak, and it is true crime related, and it's freaking me the fuck out, and it's making me...
tell us.
Okay,
so what do you want our opinion on?
I'm not going to say his name because if this is fake, I don't want to give him more publicity. But there is a man on TikTok who has like explored the dark web before with like websites where you can like prank people. I guess there's like one where you can send like animal shit to somebody.
Creative.
So he's explored the dark web before, but apparently he found this website and it's called the Shoe Man.
The Shoe Man.
The Shoe Man. And it's all of these shoes on this website, but like it says a name and an age under each shoe. And he thinks that they're like murder victim shoes. Like, it's very weird. Like, it'll show like a pair of boots that has like obviously blood on them, and it'll say like Michael 23. And then it'll show like a pair of like women's shoes, and it'll say like Jane like 32 or something.
Oh, this isn't like just like a boot icon. They're all different pictures of different boots.
They're all different pictures of different shoes. And he like he ordered a pair of the shoes and spent like $150 on them. And they were obviously very covered in blood. And they came with this like weird VHS tape. And like he got that, is it luminol spray that like says if something's like blood or not? And it like came back positive. And people who were watching his videos were commenting saying like, this guy's name that these boots are related. These boots look like boots that are in missing pictures for this guy who's like gone missing. And like they like posted like pictures of these boots that this guy was wearing in like these like wanted ads and stuff. So he thinks that like this is like a website like ran by somebody who either has access to like evidence lockers or like people that have like killed people are like selling these on this website.
Holy shit.
But then other people are saying that it's like a hoax and like something to promote like WWE or something.
WWE?
I don't know how it's like related, but like
it's too far down the rabbit hole.
I'm like, this is really freaky. But I'm also like, I understand that like you shouldn't be exploring the dark web and like he shouldn't have been there. But like if this is true, like he should call the police.
Yeah, what's
he doing
with this information?
He's like testing it with like luminol and like showing what was on the videotape, which is just like a weird like it almost looks like The Ring, like you know how like the Ring had like all those like weird images, and I'm just like, I understand you shouldn't like be on the dark web, but like if you found this, like you should bring it to the FBI, because like it's kind of like if you were like drunk driving and you saw like a man kidnap a woman, like are you gonna call the police and say like, I know I was drunk driving and I shouldn't have been, but like there's a bigger crime here, you know what I mean? So
well, also if he's posting this stuff publicly, we all know that he was on the dark web, so the police already know to begin with.
So I'm like, why is he not, if this is real, why is he not calling the police?
Well, even if he doesn't know what case it could be from, if he's like, hey, I ordered these shoes and they have blood on them, like this is where they're from, maybe they would do something. Yeah. I don't know.
Or they could, I mean, he obviously doesn't have a DNA lab. You know what I mean? So they could run the DNA on the boots or whatever, or at least, I don't know, look into it. But
that's really crazy. I've only heard of that. Like I've heard somewhere where like people sold used shoes. It was almost like OnlyFans. Like people were turned on by used shoes. Whoa. And like made money off it. This was not where I thought this was going. I had like for jollies.
There are people, men and women, I've seen on TikTok who like sell their used clothing and make a buttload of money on it.
I know. I'm not against it. Every now and then I'm like, why can't I get my shit together and just sell my underwear? I'm not gonna yuck someone else's yum. No way.
And they get paid extra. Like if you like, I'll pay you $200 if you send me a pair of your underwear, but I'll pay you $400 if you send me a pair of underwear that you wore to the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
wouldn't be me, but I'd love to capitalize.
Wouldn't be me, but like, more power to you. If you make a buck and you feel satisfied, I am not going to yuck your yum.
No.
I also like a clothing hoarder. I don't like to get rid of my clothes.
For the price, I probably would. It'd be like, I'll buy that shit in bulk and just go. Yes. I think I would. I would too. Make a fake account and just roll. Mm-hmm. God, isn't it a crazy ways you can make money these days if you just like are willing to do stuff? Like, I would hope you wouldn't have to show your face anywhere. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Or like use a P.O. box and just Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe it's harder than I'm imagining. I don't know. Every now and then I literally am like, okay, I'm actually going to do some research and see how to make this profitable. And then I read a book instead. So I guess we need a thriller writer to write about a woman who does this.
Kate's going to like pop into the podcast one day with like super cool sunglasses and like a fucking
studio,
like a feather boa, and she's gonna be like, I'm in Ibiza, and I'm gonna be like, girl found feet finder.
Yeah. Exactly. What are you reading?
Yeah. She's like, oh, you guys are in your living room and your bedroom.
Boring.
I have my own villa in Ibiza that I come to just for the podcast. My dogs have butlers.
Oh my gosh, they would love that.
So would Murphy.
Oh my god, I'd probably get more done.
True.
I would use some of my earnings to pay like a dog nanny. Yes. Play with my dogs.
I would love to be a dog nanny.
I just like the lazy part. I'll just pay for you. We can all just live together and Gare can take care of the dogs.
I've had those like moments where like I genuinely like overall like my job.
Yeah.
But like I've had those moments where I'm like, if I won the lottery or like I got like rich somehow, I think I would still do it. I think I would still work my job. And like today was one of those days where, like I think I still would.
That specific, like your specific one, not just like you would work on something. You would still work that job.
I would still work this job.
Mm.
And
you just gave us an icebreaker.
And then I like,
she reminds me of something. Keep going though.
And then I like, because I really like my boss, and like that's a hard thing for me to find.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And especially like I work with like recruiting companies, so like men in recruiting companies can be fucking assholes. But like I love my boss, and I like a lot of the people that I work with, and I was like, oh, I think I would still do it. And like today was one of those days where I was like, fuck no. If $100 bill blew my way right now, I'd quit.
Oh my God.
If I found a quarter on the sidewalk right now, I'd be like,
I'm rich now.
Ow.
Okay, that same exact question came up. So AJ and I use this app called Paired. And it asks like every day, it asks a different question. And like probably a week or two ago, it was like, if you won the lottery, would you work or not? And I said, I would like to like continue to make money, but only if it's like part-time and like totally on my own terms. Yeah. Like I think I would still want to make money in some way. AJ's like, no. So I think that is a really interesting question. I would not work. None of my clients listen to this. I wouldn't work with anyone that I work with anymore. And I would just put out so much content so that I finally could make that more profitable. But I'd be done with anything related to listings and realtors.
Do you think so? Like you wouldn't work with like other clients, but do you think that you would try to expand the business of like creating, like, would you only want to do content for yourself, or would you want to do content for like other authors still?
Yeah, myself and authors, like grow what I do have, which
with like,
if any of you guys need social media content, go to bookwildcollective.com. Because that's what I would do.
I would still 100% work for She Reads. Like my other job now, I'm like, I don't know, some days are like really like rough, and I like have always had that mentality that I would still continue to work, but like after like today and some other days where I'm like, maybe not. But like, I think I know I 100% would still work as She Reads.
Oh, totally.
Like the assignments that they gave me for July, like my boss was like, this is your time to shine. Like you were going to fucking crush this. And I had like so much fun writing them. And now I just have to take like pictures for them. But I'm just like, oh my God, that was so much fun.
That's cool.
So I would still do. Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier to write a book too. So it's like I would find things to do. I just wouldn't do what actually makes most of my money right now. I would just do it with better people because I could like build the business without needing it to be profitable immediately.
One thing we can all agree on is that we would never have to stress about NetGalley ever.
I probably would. I stay for all my episodes. I'd be like, I have to read ahead. I will say I'm like pretty lucky that my job is pretty flexible. Like I shouldn't have to stress about NetGalley. Oh God, that's just like a neurotic personality problem.
I think my biggest stressor with NetGalley, I think, is that I'm like a mood reader. So like when I have like a physical arc, I'm like, oh, like, you know, like I don't have to read it by the pub day. I can read it like a couple weeks after, whatever, like skip around. But with like NetGalley, they're kind of like, no, you got a deadline on this kid.
Your past self chose this, and now you're committed. Yeah.
You were in a mood where you didn't want to quit your job if you want a lot of money, and now you are paying the repercussions.
Yeah. Amazing. It happened. Amazing. Steph, I just realized your shirt is on brand. Wisconsin, baby. Oh, I love it. Right, everybody.
I have little ghosts. And they're reading and playing with cats and doing stuff because it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I love every single one of these ghosts is queer.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Those are all prison romances in their hand. We pulled in prison romance to death.
The Easter eggs in the last book in that series, I was like, oh my God, because there's like so many things that like aren't really answered, but like you're just like, oh, like sometimes that's how life is. And then there was like one thing, and like she put it in the notes at the end of the book, and I was like, just stared at a wall for 20 minutes straight.
Damn.
I was like, holy mother of God.
So are there more books in the series coming out?
There's supposed to be 2 more. I just don't know when they're coming.
Wow. Not soon enough.
I know. And like all of her books are like humongous.
Yes. Stuff about material.
Mm-hmm. Hubba.
Oh, yeah. I last night started listening to King of Ashes because Steph convinced me. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. And but that guy's voice is insane. Yeah, his voice is fantastic. Like, I need him to be the narrator in my head so that, like, you know, like, just life's more interesting. He has a wonderful voice. And this book is dark as fuck. Gare, have you read it?
I have not read it yet.
I didn't think you had yet.
I didn't want a copy of it.
I didn't either.
And it
came out Tuesday, right?
It just came out Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I'll probably pick it up this weekend when I go to Canada because it's in paperback.
Oh, nice. I didn't try getting it off. I only got it off NetGalley via audio. I didn't get it via the other. Like, there's certain audio publishers that are like really kind to me, and others that are like immediate no's. Oh, thanks, Macmillan Audio, for that. Yes. Oh, it's really good.
I can't wait. I've heard it's really dark.
It's very, very, very dark. I just got to a part where I was texting Steph and I was like, wow, I just hit this part. And I'm like, oh, if we're here at 30%, what's going to be happening at 80%?
Yeah. He's definitely like the person that like no character is really safe in his books.
No, it does not seem so. And he just kills the Southern Gothic vibe. And like every person I know on like Bookstagram and in real life that reads loves his books, and some of them are like the like women you would not think would like that. Like he draws in everyone, and it's amazing to me. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, I did not think that you would like that book, so-and-so. Like, that seems a little, like, really dark for you. And they're like, right.
I'm kind of one of those readers, though, that, like, if you pitch me, like, an action-y type thriller, I'm not going to really want to read it. But, like, if you're like, S.A. Cosby wrote it, then I'm like, all right. Okay.
I saw that's what your review said, Steph. You're basically like, I don't think any of these elements I would read except for S.A. Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
If that was his first, I still haven't read. That narrator reads every single one of his books. I haven't read. I read Razorblade Tears and after. I haven't read before yet. Blacktop Wasteland or Darkest Prayer.
I'd read Blacktop Wasteland, but now I need to listen to all the other ones.
Blacktop Wasteland is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Heard it's really good. I
really like that one.
I think I might listen to Razorblade Tears next, but we'll see.
Did you read Razorblade Tears?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't.
Oh,
I know.
My God, you are in for a freaking thought fest.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe it's time.
And that's no spoiler. It's in the synopsis.
Oh, totally.
That it's a little.
It's very sad subject matter.
Yeah.
I want to reread it via audio because at this time, I think All the Sinners Bleed is my favorite of his.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to reread Razorblade Tears. I know a lot of people, that's their favorite.
That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staring at my copy right now.
That would actually fit for our subject.
You guys.
It would.
Don't you worry.
That's why I was like, did you already read it? Because I was like, is this a segue?
It still works as one.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Razorblade Tears is about two fathers of two gay men who are murdered, and it is a hate crime, right?
Yes.
Or are they just murdered? Okay, there we go. And it's a hate crime.
This is a drive-by prior to our actual
Oh, nice. So Steph would make me gonna bring it up, and if you're watching, she's holding it up. So that's what we meant by all of that. If everyone's like, what do they mean? If you're an author, chances are high that you just want to spend your time writing and maybe reading, not thinking about social media, what to create and what to post. And the good news is I have a solution for you. With just 3 hours of in-person filming, you can receive 90 days or 3 months worth of social media content. The content is a mixture of videos, photos, edited reels, and when you receive the content, you also receive a PDF that's a content calendar that links to all of the content, tells you exactly when to post it, and gives you an option for captions. And if you've ever felt like you're tired of just talking about your book all the time, we will help you come up with ideas that are general content for your page that's not just all about your books. If you are tired of thinking about your social media presence and just want to get back to writing, check out the link in the description. So we were going to talk about books for Pride Month, actually for all of the months, but we're going to talk about them for now, too.
# read queer all year.
Yeah, that's a good
one. All year, guys. Come on. Can we convince you? I mean, we'll give you enough books that you can definitely read queer all year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So how many are we doing, actually?
That's a great question. I feel like we could do 4 or 5. 4.
Because I have some drive-bys. I don't really know how many we're actually talking about.
Yeah. I feel like our beginning part wasn't as long this time, so we might be able to get through a decent amount of them.
Okay.
I guess we'll just see. We'll just see. We're good with the flow. Oh, if Gare survives.
Like a chest rattle for like days, and I'm just like, my God, either kill me or get out of my chest.
What a death rattle. Yeah. Man.
It's like death becomes her. It's like, your wife is dead. She's in the morgue, and he's like, oh, she's gonna be pissed.
Well, speaking of audiobooks and queer all year, this was the first fiction book I listened to that worked for me on audio. And it's Harriet Tubman Live in Concert by Bob the Drag Queen. And it is such a cool concept, too. In an age of miracles where our greatest heroes from history have magically, unexplainably returned to shake us out of our confusion and hate, Harriet Tubman is back and she has a lot to say. Harriet Tubman and 4 of the enslaved persons she led to freedom want to tell their story in a unique way by following in the footsteps of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton. Harriet wants to put on a show about her life, and she needs a songwriter to help her. She calls upon Darnell Williams, a once successful hip-hop producer who is topping the charts before being outed by a rival at the BET Awards. Darnell has no idea what to expect when he steps into the studio with Harriet, only that they have 1 week to write a Broadway-caliber musical he can take on the road. Over the course of their time together, they not only mount a show that will take the country by storm, but confront the horrors of both their pasts and learn to find a way to a better future. And I have to say, Bob the Drag Queen narrates this one as well. And I feel like that is part of what just like makes it work. Because
I bet
he cracks me up. And she, depending on if he's in drag or not. Basically, I've watched his content for so long that it was like, oh, it's like having Bob the Drag Queen tell me a story. And it was really good.
I'm going to be the odd man out and never, ever be able to have the attention span for an audiobook.
Yeah. See, I listened to this one when I was like editing pictures. So it's like I was having to sit there I was having to sit there anyway. And then while I was driving to Chicago to see Ashley Winstead. So it was like, it's situations where like I couldn't do something else. And it kind of...
You have to kind of focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in chapter 3 of a book right now, and I like had to just stop it. And I'm like, well, if I do it mostly when I'm driving, like next week, I drive a lot, that'll be good. But like, yeah, sometimes it's like, wait, I don't even know what just happened for the past 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's sometimes that does happen, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't an audiobook activity.
Yeah. I have seen only a few like comedy clips of Bob the Drag Queen. I'm very curious to explore.
If anyone knows who Caleb Heron is, I think he's one of the funniest comedy podcasters right now. Bob the Drag Queen was so funny on Caleb Heron's podcast, So True. I think he's also been on Drew Afualo's. I don't know if that's how I pronounce her name. I just know her as Drew. The comment section. So I think he was on hers too, but he's very funny.
What?
I don't know who the girl is, but I saw a clip on TikTok of Bob the Drag Queen talking about elementary bully that he had.
Oh,
and
that might have been Drew.
And she has the long hair, and she like laughs a lot. Like she's got like a very like distinct laugh.
Might be her.
But he was telling her that he had a high school bully, and the bully had something on their forehead, and like he just finally had enough with the bully and just kind of gave it right back to the bully. And it turns out the thing on the bully's forehead was a brain tumor, and the bully died.
Oh my god!
And then it was like crickets, and then they were both like cackling.
I mean, it is funny.
Like he was like, I just like finally lost it. I stuck up for myself. I was like, that thing on your forehead, and da 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 da. And then he was like, it was a brain tumor. And
No. God.
I was like, this could go a couple ways. And you know what? I was like, it's not person's a bully. I mean, I could see them being like, whatever.
Right?
Well.
it was not an enemies to lovers romance. Let's just say that.
That's amazing.
Well, my first one is one that I haven't read yet, but it's on my TBR, and it is Winging It With You by Chip Pons. If you know him from Bookstagram, he's Books Over Bros. You and I rewritten his debut novel is one of my favorite books in the entire world, and the plot twist in the end of it was like chef's kiss. Like there's a huge twist that I like did not see coming. I'm very excited for this
romance, not thriller, right? But just like still had a twist.
Yeah,
nice.
Romance. It's like romance, like drama. You know what I mean? Like it's not fancy romance. I think this one is going to be more like traditional romance, but can we just focus on that man's bicep and his hairy forearm?
I like popping.
OMG. So,
dude, all of Chip's posts with it are so fun too.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to read this. And I'm reading it this weekend. So like,
oh, that'll be fun.
So pumped. Asher Bennett thought his relationship was just fine until he's unceremoniously dumped in the Boston airport ahead of the worldwide travel competition reality show, The Epic Trek. Still determined to find a new partner, Asher seats himself at TGI Fridays, and luckily right in front of him is a smooth-talking airline pilot ready for takeoff. Theo Fernandez has been grounded. He's the only pilot that has never taken a vacation, and the edict has been passed down. Prioritize work-life balance or say goodbye to your wings. What better way than teaming up with the handsome guy at his favorite terminal eatery for nationally televised reality show? As Theo and Asher buckle up to fake date for the cameras, they start to wonder if their on-screen chemistry hints at something bigger. Do they have the courage to leave behind their baggage and wing it together for another chance at love?
Ooh.
Gotta go.
Seriously, though.
Oh, I'm so excited.
That sounds so fun. He just seems like, I've never even talked to him in the DMs either, but he just seems like such a nice guy.
He is the sweetest human being in the entire world. Like, I just absolutely adore him.
I love that.
I absolutely
looked at his account and I was very impressed.
Yeah. Because I found his account before he started writing, and I was like, I just want you to give me photography lessons, because I always have these really cool ideas in my head and they just like never like come out right on the camera. And I just, think that you take the best pictures ever. And then he writes this like incredible book, and now he's on his second one, and this one's like traditionally published, and I just
so happy for him.
Just the cat's behind.
I love.
That's amazing.
Love.
I don't have any segue for that, but I'll say opposite. You haven't read this yet. This one I read like so long ago when I just got back into reading. It's essays, and her name is Samantha Irby, and it's called We're Never Meeting in Real Life. And I just like love this cat.
Oh my God, I love that cover.
And I remember like laying in bed and just like cackling, and AJ's like, "Are you okay?" So with heartfelt candor and her usual side-splitting bite, inimitable humorist, essayist, and blogger at bitchesgottaeat.com. That's her username. Her handle on Instagram is bitchesgottaeat. I love that so much. Samantha Irby captures powerful emotional truths while chronicling the disaster that has been her life. An ill-fated pilgrimage and romantic vacation to Nashville to scatter her estranged father's ashes, awkward sexual encounters, a bachelorette application gone awry, and more. Sometimes you just have to laugh even when your life is a dumpster fire.
That is the attitude we all should have.
Yeah, like I think she has 4 books. I think this was her second one, and they're all like a really bright color with some kind of animal on the front.
Oh my gosh.
And she just is like talks about like life with her wife and like life in college, and she has like IBS and just is like really open about like tummy trouble, and I just laugh so hard.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And she narrates all her own books, so I just was like, I've learned that I should probably listen to them. But yeah. That was one of my first probably queer books I've read.
I love that.
I love that.
Oh, I'm gonna add that to my audiobook list. I feel like I'm gonna like get to the end of the year and like have read so many more books than I did last year.
You will.
Because I finally can listen to some this way.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandpa Gare will just be still pushing paper back.
Read more than both of us every year.
More than both of us.
I think you're just fine.
I'm my current book I've been reading for a week, and I'm at 60%, and Gare's like 55.
I made it to 30% in the book I started on Sunday, and I love the book. Like, I love it, and I'm at 30% now. For everyone, we're recording on a Friday, so that's why I'm saying that.
I've read 9 books in June so far.
God damn.
I heard you guys. Like, that's insane. You don't need audio. You're fine.
Yeah, you're doing just fine.
Yeah.
With those little ojos. Keep on learning Spanish. Eyes.
Oh.
You're like, bitch, you just call me a hoe?
I didn't know if you said you're doing just fine, little hoe, or if ojos was ghost in Spanish. Like if you were like, you and your little band of queer ghosts of doing just fine.
Your little gang over there.
Yeah.
No, I was just being silly. I wanted to interrupt this episode really quickly. I have a goal of monetizing Bookwild, but I would love to do it without having to have ads in the podcast. And one way that I can do that is through my Patreon community. For those who don't know, Patreon is a community platform that allows creators to share what they're creating behind a paywall. And so that means exclusive content or early releases. The Bookwild Patreon has 2 tiers. The first tier is the bookish tier, and at that tier you get all of the episodes out a day early, and you get access to our private community chat where we can talk about anything book related or TV shows or movies. The second tier is the Bookwild tier, and it includes everything from the first tier but also Bookwild's backlist book club. So this year I've been wanting to also still read more backlist, even though I read plenty of arcs, and Bookwild's Backlist Book Club felt like the perfect way to do that. We meet on Sundays. We are international right now, so Sundays are the best way to do it. And we meet on Zoom and we all pick a book and we talk about it, and then we talk about everything else we read during the month, and then we pick another book for the next month. So it's been so much fun so far, and we'd love to have you join the book club. So if you'd like to support the Bookwild podcast, you can go to the Patreon link in the show notes and you can sign up for whichever tier interests you. And if you're looking for a free way to support the show, if you can like and review it on whichever platform you listen to, that helps so much. Well, my next one, I did not listen via audiobook, but I did interview the author, so you can listen to us talk if you want to. But Glitter in the Dark by Olesya Liuzna, which came out earlier this year. And this is one of those like rare historical fiction ones that was like truly so much of a mystery thriller that I loved it. And it's noir as well. Ambitious advice columnist Jenny Dugan knows she's capable of more than solving other people's beauty problems, but her boss at Photoplay magazine thinks she's only fit for fluff pieces. When she witnesses a kidnapping of a famous singer at Harlem's hottest speakeasy, nobody takes her seriously, but Jenny knows what she saw, and what she saw haunts her. Guilt-ridden over her failure to stop the kidnappers, and hard-pressed for cash to finally move out of her uptight showgirl's sister's apartment, Jenny resolves to chase down the truth that will clear her conscience and maybe win her a promotion in the process. When private detective Jack Crawford starts interfering with her case, Jenny ropes him into a reluctant partnership, but soon finds herself drawn to the kind heart she glimpses beneath his brooding exterior. Equally as alluring is Gloria Gardner, the star dancer of the Ziegfeld Follies, who treats life like one unending party. Yet as Jenny delves deeper into the criminal underworld, the sinister plot she uncovers seems to lead right back to the theater. Then a brutal murder strikes someone close to her, and Jenny realizes the stakes are higher than she ever imagined. This glamorous world has a deadly edge, and Jenny must shatter her every illusion to catch the shadowy killer before they strike again. This one was wild, and like she had so many in my interview with her, so many cool facts about Prohibition era New York, because since she was like a teenager, she's been obsessed with it. So this book was like kind of a culmination of like all of that and how she loves mysteries and thrillers. But like I kept forgetting that I was even in the past sometimes, just because it just felt so, I don't know, like good sounds weird, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was thinking that when you were reading the synopsis, is that like it does not, like if you wouldn't have told me that it was in the 20s, I would have been like, this could also be current.
I agree.
She was in Montreal.
I remember you saying that.
And hearing her speak was like so like out of body experience. Like somebody that young for their first event ever, and like the way that she like it was just like there's so much like passion in her, like talking about why she chose the 1920s and like what inspired the story, and like it was just incredible.
Yeah, she's one of those people where like if they like something so much that like you start to care about it.
Yeah. I also told her that you said hi.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I was like, I just wanted to let you know, like, I sometimes do a podcast with Cate, and I just wanted to let you know she said hi. And she was like, oh my God, that's so sweet.
Oh.
And I was like, she would have been really proud of you if she could have been here today.
Yeah. Yes. And that Hallie, for anyone who loves random facts, but Hallie Sutton and Lane Fargo were her Pitch Wars mentors.
Yes.
So also if you love those two,
yeah,
you probably love this.
Yeah.
Ruth.
Incredible. I also like love how like looking at the cover of her book, you can tell that it's 1920s. Like it's just like
It's
so
such
cool.
a cool cover.
It is so cool.
It's like Gatsby-esque.
Yes.
I love it.
I agree.
Look at us go. Okay. My first one, second one.
My first second one.
I kind of went in like a little direction here with like, if you enjoy some of these like heterosexual, just kidding. If you enjoy some of these heterosexual stories, then you'll enjoy some of these queer ones. So being that hockey romance is like so big everywhere, like within like queer stories and non-queer stories. My first one for a hockey romance that I want to recommend is Game Changer by Rachel Reed. So this is my little itty bitty baby paperback. But
oh, it's been cute.
That is not the cover I was expecting.
They just released them all with like your more traditional looking romance covers. Okay. So this is the new one, and it's yes. So this is the new one. I have all 6 of them, and they are either currently filming or just wrapped up filming, turning this one into a TV series, which is really exciting. Because this is the first time that I've had like an MM story that is going to be a series. So I'm very excited to dive in and read them. But everybody, when I got into MM romance, was telling me to read this series. And when I got into hockey romance, they were like, why have you not picked this up yet? So guess what I'm going to be reading next? So Game Changer by Rachel Reed. And her abs. New York Admirals Captain Scott Hunter takes his pregame rituals very seriously. When a particular smoothie precedes Scott's breaking his on-ice slump, he's desperate to recreate the magic and to get to know the sexy, funny guy behind the counter. Kip Grady knew there was more to Scott's frequent visits than blended fruit, but he never let himself imagine being invited back to Scott's penthouse, or kiss the reckless abandon, and more. What goes on between them is hot, incredible, and frequent, but also only on Scott's terms and always behind closed apartment doors. Scott needs Kip in his life, but with the playoff season approaching, his spotlight on him is suddenly brighter than ever. He can't afford to do anything that might derail his career or public's image of what a hockey captain should be. Kip is ready to go all in with Scott, but how much longer will he have to remain a secret?
Wow.
Hubba hubba.
Did you ever date a hockey player?
Did I ever date a hockey player?
Yes.
No.
You never know.
If I
It did.
if I ever dated a hockey player, we would have a separate podcast just of our sexual proclivities. Because it is like literally like I would like to date Jacob Elordi, obviously.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean, and then like any hockey player in the world. I think hockey players are the sexiest athletes when it comes to men.
And do you think it's because they're kind of violent, or do you think it's, what do you think it is?
Me personally, or like
yes, for personally.
They're definitely rough, which is like good for me, but also like it would be hard to hate crime me with my hockey player boyfriend around.
Right.
Ooh, I like totally protectiveness.
Yes, that's what I was kind of going for here.
They travel a lot.
So you have your free
So
time.
I've had my free time to read.
I'm with you so far.
Hockey butts are a thing.
That's
Like,
what I was gonna ask. Like, is it the physique that goes with hockey?
Yeah, I don't want like some skin. Like, I love his music, but like, I do not want to date somebody that has the same body type as Troye Sivan.
Oh yeah,
I want some tall
that for you.
beefcake whose like biceps are like an anaconda.
Mhm.
And yeah, they just like, it's not like a dainty sport. Like, he's like getting like the shit
Yeah.
out of him, and I'm like, and then he's beating the shit out of other people, and I'm just like, ugh. Yeah.
I remember there was part of where that came from is I remember there's like a Bones episode where her boss Cam takes her to a hockey like a pickup game, like not NHL, like firefighters or something. Probably firefighters doing it, the other sexualized subgroup. But Cam literally is like, I just love this. They're so violent. It makes me feel so safe. So that was like part of what made me think of it.
So
That's what I was like, is it because they're violent? And then Bones is like being Bones about it and is like, well, from a sociological perspective, you're right.
Yeah, it's so hot. Like, they're all like so like I just think hockey players are so good looking. And like, don't get me wrong, like I know like other athletes like work hard and like can have like accidents and stuff like that. Yeah, whatever. But like, I don't know, sometimes when I watch football, it's like people like slam into each other and then they like get up and they're like he and they like tap each other on the shoulder, or like sometimes like somebody like trips and like rolls their ankle and like gets carried off, and I'm like, it's kind of like embarrassing. But like,
it's like NBA, yeah.
In hockey, like people like lose teeth and get like concussions, and they just like get back up and like beat the shit out of the guy that like slammed them into the boards, and then they keep going. Right? Like, I'm just like, I did not go to any like sporting activities in school, but like, you bet your ass I went to hockey games. And it's an easy sport to follow. Like, if you're not like a sports enthusiast and somebody's like, oh, do you want to go to like a football game? No, I don't, because I have 100 questions in the first 10 minutes. And then like, I dated a guy who had me watch the Super Bowl with him. We broke up a month later because I was like asking. And he was like, can you just save your questions for after? And I'm like, no, because you're making me fucking watch this and I don't know what the hell's going on. And like, he was like, save your questions for after. And that just pissed me off.
Oh my gosh.
But
You're like, football ruined my relationship.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean save my questions for after? Like, you are not on premium. So, but if you take me to a hockey game, like, I know that little puck is trying to get there and they're going to beat the shit out of each other for about 20 minutes before somebody scores. Peter get slammed into the boards. I can follow what's going on. You know what I mean? Other sports, there's like flags and they call things, and there's like basketball when they have to like shoot at a certain point. I'm like, I don't fucking have time for all of these rules. Okay. Hockey, there are no rules. There's the puck and hot men beating the shit out of each other, and they do their little exercises.
Nice.
They do their little exercises with their butt in the air when they're doing their stretches right before the game. Sign me up.
God, that's how I feel. I do not think it's easy to follow. Not that I've watched more than like maybe a documentary about it, but I've lately been really into the thickness of rugby men.
Oh, yeah.
But there's really not much around here to watch to even be able to learn it. But like, I'm a thick.
My TikTok has been so many rugby like accidental nudity slips.
Oh yeah.
Or like rugby players doing like homo-ish things, like when they're trying to like
they like throw each other's shorts.
they grab each other by the shorts, and their hand is like up their ass basically, and they're like, catch the ball, and like,
and no one thinks a thing about it.
No, because rugby players, did you ever watch Bring It On, where like the one guy, like they do like their little cheer thing, and he has the cheerleader in the air, and he's like giving her a little tickle, and like they're like hee, and he's like, yeah, it's easy for me to like be a cheerleader because like I get to do that to like my hot chick friends or whatever. But like that's what rugby players are. It's like literally like they just like literally have like a finger up each other's ass all the time, or they're like grabbing each other's junk in their little shorts, and then they're like, no homo, please. You are out of your mind.
Sure.
You are out of your mind. I'm obsessed.
I love that.
This is the best Pride episode ever.
It is.
Kate asking me like what it is about hockey players and all.
I mean, but you're not alone. Like that genre for whatever direction you're going, like, is hugely popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I even bought a romance.
I've never read a book related to a sport. Now that I think about it,
I am a
Carrie Soto, the favorite.
Carrie Soto.
Carrie Soto. Yeah.
You're right. The favorites. It's just I'm so not traditional. It's not football or basketball or hockey.
Right.
There is like a Why Choose. It's called Pucking Around by Emily Raff.
That's a perfect why choose.
And it's like a woman and 3 hockey players. But I think some of the men get together too, because it's always on the list of like LGBTQ plus sports romances.
Nice.
Interesting.
And I know that with 3 hockey players in the house, like homegirl does not have time to have a queer relationship of her own. So
No.
She's probably itching for one though, with 3 dudes around.
Seriously.
No offense.
What a brave woman.
She's been like that.
Wouldn't be Steph and I, clearly.
Like, enough is enough.
would be me.
It could be you for sure.
Definitely me. I would be like, choo choo.
Oh my god. But as long as they, although I will say, if they're traveling a lot, that does help.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is too. Like, I obviously love like a strong, like tall, tough, badass man. So that's why like athletes, like I am attracted to, but like also like them traveling so much. Like I know that I'm a psycho enough that like you would not cheat on me, because if you did, I would find out. And I know that I'm crazy enough to find out, and like you would be punished profusely.
Mm-hmm.
The emotional terrorism that they would get for cheating on me would be like not worth it. And also like they would just be traveling and stuff, and I would have my alone time.
Right.
And then they can come home and like I could tell them about what books I read, and they can take me out for pizza.
It's really all
The life. That's the life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there's any hockey players listening,
Hit us up at Gare.
Mm-hmm. I am not even close to a segue to that. This is the opposite of that. Mine is a YA. So I went to this. Sorry, I went to this. Madison has like an adult book fair, which is like pretty cute.
I do that.
And one of the stores, the bookseller had this like post-it, and it said something like snarky female character doesn't give a shit and likes cats or something. And I'm like, I'm into it. Let's go.
Same.
So, it's like when you embrace that you're about to read a YA, then it's like good. If I was not looking for it, it probably wouldn't have hit. But when Gianna Gigi Ricci lands in detention again, she doesn't expect the glorified study hall to be her alibi. But when she and her friends receive a mysterious email directing them to her favorite teacher, Mr. Ford's room, they find him lying in a pool of blood. But calling the math teacher's death an accident doesn't add up. And Gigi adds all the what? What?
When you said pool of blood, he and I both went,
YA? I know. And Gigi needs all the help she can get to find the truth. Luckily, you guys are just going to die. Luckily, she's friends with her high school's mystery club.
Oh, good.
And so her best friend Sean and longtime crush Mari, Gigi, sets out to solve a murder. But it turns out murderers are extremely unwilling to be caught, and the deeper Gigi gets in this mystery, the more dangerous things become. Between fending off a murderer, continual flare-ups of her IBS, and her arch nemesis turning flirtatious, making it out of junior year is going to be one killer problem. It's cool because I think she's a lesbian. I don't think she's bisexual. Her mom is non-binary. So it's like there's like everything. The writer, I think the author is non-binary too. So it just like it was a different read for me, but in a really good way.
Mm-hmm. What was the title?
One Killer Problem by Justine Pucella Winans. Winans.
Okay.
The tagline in the front is "Be gay, solve crime."
Oh, I love that. So camp.
It's just like, it says it's good, a darkly funny and thoroughly clear queer mystery with a touch of camp for fans of Kara Thomas, Kit Frick by the way of Only Murders in the Building. It's kind of that vibe.
Oh, that's cool.
So I just was like, I embraced it for all that it was, because it was just like very fun.
Yeah.
If I was looking for like a dark thriller, that was not going to be it, but I loved it for what it was.
Ugh.
Oh, the post-it said main character gives 0 Fs, and I was like, that's what I need sometimes. I love those kinds of characters.
Yeah.
That's your segue.
Yes.
That's your segue. Like, I will read any hockey romance with 2 dudes in it, and yours is like any snarky character who gives 0 fucks is like an immediate yes for you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Pretty much.
Love that.
Well, my main character is not too snarky in this next one.
Really?
But I had to talk about it. It's This Violent Heart by Heather Levy.
Oh, yeah.
Not Heller. Devin Mays thought she was done with the small conservative town she once called home. She fled when she was 18 after her best friend Summer took her own life, leaving Summer's twin brother Keaton lost in his grief. But when tragedy strikes again, Devin has nowhere to turn but back to the place that first broke her heart. Being back in Arcana means struggling with the old guilt that shrouds her bisexuality and her feelings for Keaton. There's so much she's still hiding from him, and so much of their shared past that's now surfacing. It's not long before Devin has reason to believe Summer's tragic death wasn't suicide after all. Summer had secrets too, and she wasn't the only one who didn't want them exposed. As Devin and Keaton piece together the memory of what happened that fateful summer, they must reckon with their own truths before they can move forward, but one person will do whatever it takes to stop them. This one's like so emotional. It's like a lot more, it has like very like vulnerable moments compared to like Hurt For Me, the first one, or Heather's first one, but it's also very hot. And she's torn between 2 twins while she's in high school. It's just fantastic.
That is such a fucking good pick.
It's so good.
I love
I like how we're so hurt.
I love she's from Oklahoma, and it's just like, I'm gonna let it rip with a non bisexual romance thriller.
Right?
Yeah.
Get it.
I will piggyback off that though and say that like, even though this one is like not as much of a thriller as Hurt For Me,
Mm-hmm.
the pacing is incredible with that one.
I agree.
Like, she kept ending the chapters with these like little like cliffhangers, almost like she was like daring you to like put your bookmark in. And I was like, I'm not gonna let you down. And I read that one in one day.
Wow,
that was such a good book.
It's so good.
One of my favorites of the year, 100%.
I need to look and see if my library.
You too. Yeah,
I would send
really
you.
Cool.
I will send you a copy, Steph.
Yeah, I think I have a copy too.
Oh.
That's like one of those books that like you don't let somebody download on their Kindle. You're like, I will gift this for you because like it deserves to be in your hands.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
ooh,
I imagine that when I read this book, it was how Steph felt with Margot Has Money Troubles.
Ooh,
because this was such a fun reading experience. I was like laughing. It was steamy. There was like drama. It was like heartwarming. And it's called Just by Looking at Him by Ryan O'Connell.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite books in the entire world.
Whoa.
I love this one so much. And it's just like incredible. And I can't say enough things about it. But
Have you seen the other cover option?
I have the other cover. Is it like the painting one?
Yeah, where there's a little nudie man on the beach.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's the hardback cover.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is like the new paperback one. And there's this little Speedo guy just hello.
Oh yeah, I have seen this one. Okay.
Yeah, it is
Seen
so
the other
good.
cover.
This cover's like, I love them both, but this cover's a little bit more fitting for like the vibe you're gonna get with the book. For the, like, if you
the other one makes you think literary.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was a little nervous with that when I first got it, but then I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Elliot is a 35-year-old gay man with cerebral palsy, seems to be living it up as a successful TV writer, spending his days writing aggressively average scripts and his nights drinking bottles of natural wine with his perfect supportive boyfriend, Gus. But beneath this Instagram filter of a life, Elliot chased at the notion that he should feel grateful for his success despite his disability. When he meets River, a high-end sex worker, Elliot jumps at the chance to inject some excitement into his routine. But as their dynamic veers from empowering to obsessive, Elliot falls down a rabbit hole of sex, drinking, and addiction. As he searches for acceptance in an overwhelmingly ableist world, Elliot finds that his desperate escapism is slowly eroding his self-esteem and destroying his life.
Man.
Yeah. It is so good. It says that it's an incisive commentary on modern gay life and an insightful portrayal of a person with disabilities, a heart-centered, laugh-out-loud exploration of the messy layers of the self. So it's really good.
Very good.
And he also was in the reboot of Queer as Folk. Even though it was only one season, but it was really good. If anybody has to watch it. And Juliette Lewis is in it.
Love her.
From Yellow Jackets. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love how one of his other books is called I'm Special and Other Lies We Tell Ourselves.
yeah. He has a TV show called Special.
Oh, really?
On Netflix. And it's like they're like short, like little, like I think they're like 20, 25-minute episodes.
Oh. I noticed my library has that one too.
He's really good. I think that you would really like that. I think you would both actually really like it.
I think so.
Well, I haven't done a thriller yet.
Oh, I hadn't even realized.
Well, we did a drive-by of Razor Blade Tears.
True.
That's true.
I was like trying to look through my shelves and I felt like most of mine weren't thrillers this time. Kind of wild.
Yeah.
And weird and unfortunate, honestly.
Oh, girl, if you need queer thrillers.
I know.
I got you.
Well, I know. I was going to say, I'm like, why? I think that Gare has a lot. You know what's frustrating to me sometimes, just a little side note, is like, I feel like with NetGalley and Instagram, you are just so magnetized to like repeat authors and like repeat almost like demographics. And like, I think that it's probably just like the algorithm and our same friends and like the community that you follow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I want to like get some recs and see some things on NetGalley that like spice it up. I feel like I'm not marketed stuff that is like diverse enough for what I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
My hot take with that too is that like as much as we all love Bathhouse by PJ Vernon, like if the Tal Bauer duology, like The Murder Between Us and The Grave Between Us, if they like were promoted by a traditional publisher, I think they would have had like the same success as that. So that's why like
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's why like it's like sometimes like finding those like indie authors or the books that like people don't like talk about that much on like social media can be really fun, because like that was an experience for me that I was like, wow, like these like just like blew me away with like how like good they were.
How did they land on your radar?
How did they land on my radar? I'm trying to think. Well, because of Hockey Romance. So Tal Bauer has a hockey. He like does like every genre basically. He has like CIA like White House romantic thrillers. But he actually has Gravity and the rest of the story are a hockey romance duology. And there was a book talker that I followed that like reads Gravity probably like 4 or 5 times a year. And like it's like her favorite book in the entire world. And so I wanted to read it, and then I got the rest of the story, and then I saw that he did The Murder Between Us and The Grave Between Us, and I had to get those. And he has like another, I think like it's a cowboy romantic suspense, but he's got like a pretty like he's got like a pretty like extensive like catalog for like anything you're looking for. But yeah, so that's
if I've ever read a cowboy book.
I haven't, and I think it's because I just am not one that usually goes for like country cowboys, Western.
Yeah.
If, let's say, S.A. Cosby wrote it, I probably would read it.
Yeah.
True. I read
S.A. or Ashley.
I read 6 cowboy romances last year.
Wow.
It was like a series by a woman named Emmy Sanders. And they were like all these like cowboy romances, but then they segue into another series about the men that work in a porn studio.
Amazing.
So cowboys and porn stars.
Fuck yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I was like, what a range.
What a range.
Wow. Once again, my next one has nothing to do with that. It's more like urban, taking place in Philadelphia. So the next one I have is called Sky Falling by Mia Mackenzie. And I think I just stumbled upon this looking for like kind of funny dramas. Let's see. 26 and broke, Sky didn't think twice before selling her eggs and happily pocketing the cash. Now approaching 40, Sky moves through life entirely and unrepentantly on her own terms, living out of a suitcase and avoiding all manner of serious relationships. Her personal life might be a mess, and no one would be surprised if she died alone in a hotel room, but at least she's free to do as she pleases. But then a 12-year-old girl shows up during one of Sky's brief visits to her hometown of Philadelphia and tells Sky that she's her egg. Sky's life is thrown into sharp relief, and she decides that it might be time to actually try to have a meaningful relationship with another human being. Spoiler alert, it's not easy. Things get even more complicated when Sky realizes that the woman she tried and failed to pick up the other day is the girl's aunt, and now it's awkward. All the while, her brother is trying to get in touch, her problematic mother is being bewilderingly kind, and the West Philly pool halls and hoagie shops of her youth have been replaced by hipster cafes. Told in a fresh, lively voice, this novel is a relentlessly clever, deeply moving portrait of a woman and the relationships she thought she could live without. So totally unique premise, and written like very snarky, almost. I mean, better grammar, but like you're in her head, kind of like writes how someone would speak, and it's pretty gay, and I love that.
It's pretty gay, and I love that. That's the subtitle for this episode.
Pretty gay, and I love that.
That's pretty gay.
You know, Steph, I gotta say though, like going back to what we were just talking about, like I feel like whenever we do an episode, you put so many books on my radar that like I have never heard of.
Hey,
like
I know it's amazing. Like I was just like perusing the library, and I don't know if I saw this one on the shelf, but I've been like I think I've been like trying to do that. But like you never know what you like. There's sometimes I've noticed if I just like, oh, this cover looks good, I'll just like go sometimes and like take pictures of like book covers and come home. And not that I'm a reviews snob, but sometimes I'm like, maybe there's a reason that one's not checked out. You know what I mean? Like you see got like a 3.1. You know, I'm just kind of like, I'm sure it might be great for some people, but I don't always know if I'm willing to like take a swing, which maybe sucks. But like, there's been some winners, which is good.
Yeah, no, you always put a lot of.
I agree. I feel like she like goes out into the physical book world more than us and sees other stuff.
I try to like. I go to like my bookstore that I go to in Canada, and I try so hard to like branch out, but like. I'm like, oh, I've heard of that. Oh, that has this many reviews on like NetGalley or whatever, or like, oh, this one I DNF'd. And I'm like, I feel like because it's such a small store, like there's so many just like popular books. But like, yeah, if we're handing out compliments, I will say that you are the one that I think always puts books on my radar that like I've never even heard of before, that always sound very interesting to me and like multi-genre.
Thanks.
And Cate is the one that pushes me to read outside of just typical thrillers because I have no idea what the fuck genre she's going to pick up next.
No. A constant surprise this year.
Yeah.
I have a hot take moment.
Yeah.
Lately, some of the thrillers I've been reading, not all. I don't know if it's me or books, but I'm like, they're like doing the most. And they're almost like too much. And I don't know if it's just like my current interest level or it's like, I felt like those 1 or 2 twists would have been good, but there were like 3 more twists. And I just have been a little like, eh. And I'm like, so I don't know if it's me or just the books I've happened to pick up.
Well, Gare and I had that feeling with a thriller as well. We were like, why did we need this many twists at the end? So
yeah, like we don't need to do the most. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this will be my last one, just based off of time.
Okay.
But I read this one last year and loved it, and I love Alexis Henderson in general. But House of Hunger. Marion Shaw has been raised in the slums where want and deprivation is all she knows. Despite longing to leave the city and its misery, she has no real hope of escape until the day she spots a peculiar listing in the newspaper seeking a blood maid. Though she knows little about the far north, where wealthy nobles live in luxury and drink the blood of those in their service, Marion applies for the position. In a matter of days, she finds herself the newest blood maid at the notorious House of Hunger. There, Marion is swept into a world of dark debauchery. Is it debauchery or debauchery?
Debauchery.
I feel like I've heard both ways.
Same.
And at the center of it all is her, Countess Lisa Vette, who presides over this hedonistic court, is loved and feared in equal measure. She takes a special interest in Marion. Lisa Vette is magnetic, and Marion is eager to please her new mistress. But when her fellow blood maids begin to go missing in the night, Marion is thrust into a vicious game of cat and mouse. She will need to learn the rules of her new home and fast, or its halls will soon become her grave. So this one has like horror elements. It's like, I don't know if it's considered, is it considered fantasy? Yeah. It says fantasy. Obviously there are vampires going on. Gothic, sapphic, horror thriller. It has a lot of things going for it.
Yeah. Sure does.
That sounds really good.
Mm-hmm. I love her books.
Damn. How do I follow that up?
Which one are you going to pick?
I'm going to do a thriller.
Oh, good. I think we do need some thriller.
I have yapped everybody's ears off about A Density of Souls by Christopher Rice, so go read it. Consider that a drive-by. But if you love dark academia and sexy, sexy men doing bad, bad things, you should read The Snow Garden by Christopher Rice.
Ooh.
I am dying to reread this. She a thick one. She a thickie. A shocking death exposes dangerous forces of seduction, obsession, and vengeance lurking beneath the idyllic surface of a prestigious New England university. It's more than just the late November weather that has cast a chill over the campus of Atherton University. When the wife of a respected professor, Eric Eberman, is killed in a tragic accident, his secret student lover, Randall Stone, fears the professor tried to avert career suicide by committing homicide. Or do the dead woman's haunting last words point to an even more damning crime? Fearing the truth, Randall digs into his lover's hidden history, but what he finds draws him and everyone he cares for into a dark dance of sexual manipulation, twisted retribution, and murderous rage where nothing is as it seems. And no one will escape from it unscathed if they escape at all.
Ooh, wow.
Fucking babe.
I remember you talking about this one when we started the podcast, like years ago. I need to read it. It's been on my to read shelf for.
I need to read it again. I'm like setting aside things that like I have to read, and like I want to reread this one, and I need to read that hockey romance, and I need to read the Mindfuck series now, Steph.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah.
I
heard they might be bringing it to the screen. I just saw a friend post that.
Oh, they are?
Crazy.
Yeah.
They'd better do a good job is all.
Yeah.
No side eye there. Oh gosh.
What's her last
Okay.
name?
So this one that I'm talking about, you know how we've had that conversation about like sometimes horror goes over our head.
Yeah.
So like this one kind of went over my head. But I know like so many people love it. And I think it might have been that I did listen on audio and the production was like really good. It had like background noise. But I think it was just like not the book for me to do that. However, the covers and I keep like changing what I think.
What a roller coaster of emotion.
I know, you guys. So it's called The Honeys by Ryan LaSala, and a lot of people love it. I'm sure that I would love it too. I just like it was a little like woohoo. This is also YA. It's like a summer camp book, which I know a lot of people love summer camp settings.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see. Mars has always been the lesser twin, the shadow to his sister Caroline's radiance. But when Caroline dies under horrific circumstances, Mars is propelled to learn all he can about his once inseparable sister who'd grown tragically distant. Mars's gender fluidity means he's often excluded from the traditions and expectations of his politically connected family. This includes attendance to the prestigious Aspen Conservancy Summer Academy, where his sister poured so much of her time. But with his grief still fresh, he insists on attending in her place. What Mars finds is a bucolic fairy tale not meant for him. Folksy charm and sun-drenched festivities camouflage old-fashioned gender roles and a toxic preparatory rigor. Mars seeks out his sister's old friends, a group of girls dubbed the Honeys, named for the beehives they maintain behind their cabin. They are beautiful and terrifying, and Mars is certain they're connected to Caroline's death. But the longer he stays at Aspen, the more the sweet mountain breezes give way to hints of decay. Mars's memories begin to falter, bleached beneath the relentless summer sun. Something is hunting him in broad daylight, toying with his mind. If Mars can't find it soon, it will eat him alive. So I think that, like...
I know.
You said it was YA?
I think...
She's like,
it's been like 2 years since I read it, but like I think it's like the teen summer camp setting is like why it's YA. But I feel like the thing that I think was hard was so he's like the way his memories began to falter was like really hard on audio. And I think that's why it was hard for me was like when it's like mind stuff like that, it's almost easier I think for me to read it physically. So I think that was my issue. So if anyone is an audio listener, but you know that like if it's really twisty and a little more like psychological is hard to listen to, you may want to pick the physical copy up. But yeah, it's like these like queen bees.
I wish we were called the Honeys.
We could.
Book Honeys.
Yeah. Moving forward.
Book Honeys. I love that. That sounds really good. I'm gonna have to add that.
I love that cover too.
I know too.
And like if you get I had the hardcover and it like when you opened it, everything was gorgeous about like what are those called? The inner pages? Like
what are those called? Man, I forget. I just saw someone say the word. Whatever. The first page. It's really pretty.
Yeah. Very beautiful. And very like I think unsettling summer camp feel.
Right.
Love it.
Give everyone like quite the array of genres to pick from.
Yeah.
Can I do some drive-bys? 5 Way Burlesque.
I have 3.
Hitchcock. Secret History.
Violent Light is what it's called.
Yeah. Yep. Hidden Scars by Andy Jackson is a very dark hockey romance that deals with trauma, and the twist in this one is insane. If you like dark academia and like a femme fatale story, but you want it between two men, Providence by Craig Wilsey.
What a cover.
Yeah, student teacher, dark, twisty, very sexy.
Yeah.
The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis.
I knew you were going to talk about that one.
Serial killer. I know, I was like, Garrett, stop it. But then I just had to do a drive-by with him. A serial killer, boys, 80s, sexy.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one is Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart. I got this in Montreal. I heard it's like very traumatizing.
Sounds good.
And beautifully written, page turning, and Oprah blurbed it.
Really? Whoa.
So, be gay, be lovely, enjoy your life.
I love that. I have some drive-bys. One is The 3 Lives of Cate.
Oh my god, that's such a good pick.
How did we forget that one?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't talk about it because I know just it being a Reese pick, I figured maybe more people had heard about it. But FYI, it does have. I love the author is Kate Fagan and her wife's name is Catherine. Like, I love that so much.
I do too.
Cool.
I also had Chain Gang All Stars. The main characters in this book are a couple, women, and then also, Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult, who is an incredible activist. And then her co-author is Jennifer Finney Bolin, who is a member of the LGBTQ plus community. Very good. This on audio. So if you watch the most recent White Lotus, Carrie Coon reads this on audio.
Ooh.
Her voice is so.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah. So that one, if you get the opportunity, is really good on audio.
And watch Overcompensating on Prime.
Yeah.
Because
the people are telling me they love it too.
it is.
Also, that one show you recommended, Kate, with the teacher.
That English teacher?
Yeah, that one's good.
Oh my god, that's so good. Yes.
Love it.
Watch that.
My little blurb is Department Q on Netflix is a very good. It almost feels it is kind of like noir, but it's also like a an agent who's a part of like a really traumatic shooting is kind of like he's because he's having to recover and prove that he's psychologically sound enough to come back to work. He kind of gets relegated to the basement, and they're like, you can work on any cold case that you want. And so it's to distill it down into like a trope. It's very much like the misfits come together in the basement. No one respects them enough, and then they totally unravel this really, really twisted cold case, and it's very good on Netflix.
I saw that preview, but it wasn't coming out for like 2 months at the time. So I'm glad you reminded.
You know what came out? We're recording this on the 13th. Is Echo Valley, which is like it's a thriller movie on Apple TV with Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney, and it literally just aired today. Yeah. So I might watch that tonight.
I need to
but it's getting good reviews. Sometimes like there's a joke that Apple makes really good TV shows and really bad movies. So I never get that excited, but the reviews are actually looking good. So
I need to watch that.
Also my little drive-by would be No Road Home by John Fran, which is like gothic kind of locked room family thriller drama with a gay dad and his son. And ghosts.
Oh yeah. And watch the movie Femme, because Kate and I both.
And watch the movie Femme.
Oh yeah, and also the movie Sebastian. It's about a guy in his 20s who writes for a magazine, and he moonlights as a sex worker to do research for his debut novel. It's really good. And now I'll shut up. The gay is out of voice.
He's out of things to say.